Hello everybody, my name is Xenia van Edig, and together with my colleague Dulip Withanage, I will present TIB Open Publishing to you. TIB Open Publishing is a new library-based open access publication service from Germany. Before I present TIB Open Publishing in detail, I would like to provide you with a quick overview on our presentations. I will be setting the scene by starting with a short introduction relating our new services to the overall strategy of our host institution, and then continue by presenting our goal as well as our offer to editors. Moreover, I will briefly introduce some of the standards we aim to implement. Then, Dulip will conclude our presentation by talking about the current status of our service and what we plan for the future. As I don't know if all of you are familiar with Technische Informationsbibliothek, or TIB in short, I would like to say a few words about our library. TIB is Germany's central library for technology, architecture, chemistry, computer science, mathematics, and physics. TIB, also known as Leibniz Information Center for Science and Technology, and as the University Library of the University of Hanover, provides academia, research, and business with literature and information. Moreover, TIB is continuously expanding its role as a German information center for the digitalization of science and technology. As research library, its key areas of research are data science, digital libraries, non-textual material, open knowledge, open science, and visual analytics. Open access and open science, more broadly, are core values in all of our activities. In the subject areas we are dealing with, conference publications are an important means of scholarly communication and hence a focus of TIB. TIB is also very actively engaged in the open access transformation. We provide funding for open access and journal flipping. We provide consulting regarding open access, for example, for students. We operate text and video repositories. We work on open educational resources, metadata quality, and the open research knowledge graph. Thus, TIB Open Publishing is adding to our activities around open science and open access by using and enhancing the free software Open Journal Systems. We also underline TIB's engagement for open source. Recently, TIB became the first major development partner of the Public Knowledge Project in Europe. Our goal is to establish and further develop an OJS-based publication platform for open access publications. Thereby, we aim to provide a home for quality-assured open access publications and provide high visibility for them. You may ask why we need another platform. We want to provide a non-commercial but high-quality service and build on our library competence in the field of scholarly communication. One major focus of our service is conference publications, and we feel that there is still a lack of sustainable services in the segment. So with our new service, we want to contribute to the open access transformation. TIB Open Publishing is open to all disciplines, but our focus is on TIB subject areas. We derived a set of publishing standards, and all publication publishing with us must be willing to implement them. As library-based service, we are not interested at all in gaining ownership for the publication, but we want to provide a publisher-like service to editors. That said, I would like to emphasize that we offer our service to both existing publications as well as to new launches. We provide consulting and technical support regarding OJS, including website content, plugins, review workflow, production, publication, and dissemination. We also provide input and support regarding the formal quality criteria the journals and proceedings should implement. We will support editors with the applications and the data transfer for databases and abstracting and indexing services relevant to their communities. And we put great emphasis on the conformity with data protection regulations, namely GDPR in Europe. Our own OJS instance is already adapted to these requirements. but we are aiming to contribute to the enhancement of OJS in general in this regard. Unfortunately, we cannot offer our services for free. Our pricing scheme depends mainly on the type of the publication as well as the amount of published articles or contribution. Of course, we only charge for costs that occur for our publishing activities. I already mentioned that we derived a set of standards we want the journals and proceedings which publish with us to implement. We require that the publications are open access so that they provide free access, easy reuse, and electronic preservation, and that the publications work without an author-facing APC. Regarding digital preservation, we will long-term archive all publications that fall into the TIB subject areas with the TIB internal archiving system Rosetta. Other contents will be archived through Portico. We will apply standards from the Plan S Technical Implementation Guidelines, the DOAJ seal, the OASPA membership criteria, and the COPE guidelines. Our standards comprise, for example, that authors retain copyright, that CC BY is applied for all publications. Thereby, license information must be present in all article formats. We facilitate the use of several persistent identifiers and take care of metadata quality. Furthermore, we will make sure to have open citations and address all relevant aspects regarding the website content, for example, aims and goals, information on peer review, editors with affiliation information, of course, an open access statement, transparent information on funding and ownership, publication ethics and standards. We also aim to provide a plagiarism check by using the similarity check of Crossref, so authenticate. And articles need to contain information on submission, acceptance, and publication dates, and ideally on data availability and conflicts of interest. And now I'm happy to hand over to my colleague Dulip.
Among all the software developments we are doing in the TIB Open Publishing, I would like to highlight four key areas where we are actively engaged in. First one is the plugin for displaying our web page. We have developed a OJS theme plugin, which is based on the default theme, and there we have also add support to cookie consent and accessibility requirements, which is required. And this web page is currently gone online since April. And one of the key basic areas where we are developing is the conference proceedings. We are publishing our first conference proceedings in May, and TIB is actively engaged in supporting OJS with conference metadata and also for the content. Therefore, we are always discussing with relevant partners, for example, the Public Knowledge Project or the cataloging department of TIB to support conference proceedings, and there we have done several specifications. These are always constantly enhanced with discussions with the relevant partners, and soon we are beginning the implementation of those steps. Another key area where TIB Open Publishing is active is XML workflows. We want to support XML according to the Plan S guidelines, and we are using the generic XML workflow from OJS. We are using the docx converter plugin, which is using Microsoft Word documents as the input format, and then we are allowing manual corrections using the texture plugin. As you may also know, in a lot of cases, single source XML publishing workflows are not always 100% automated. Therefore, we also have a semi-automated process, but we are constantly enhancing that and also building support for LaTeX-based XML JATS conversion in our TIB Open Publishing. Dissemination formats which we are currently thinking is PDF, HTML, and XML. And those developments are constantly synchronized with the public knowledge project goals of supporting XML. Another key area where we are very active is identifier support. ROW stands for a Research Organization Registry, and we have written a plugin for OJS, and this plugin allows controlled adding of research organizations through an autocomplete function, and this can be used in the OJS plugin gallery. Other areas we are also active are ORCID Crossref Funder ID, and we are also giving constantly talks on ORCID support for OJS. So I will hand over to Xenia for the conclusion.
Basically, you find more information on the website Dulip already mentioned. And of course, if you have further questions, you can either ask in the Q&A after the talk, or just write us an email. You find our contact details here. So we are looking forward for discussion, feedback, further input, and so on. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.